writing code is definitely different than writing a play in many ways. But it's also interesting that people have come to the point where they can actually write tests in a very similar way to how you would write a story.
Yeah, and I think that brings up like another thing I've spent some time thinking about, which is kind of the comparison of software engineering is like writing versus software engineering is writing. I kind of feel like the using prose to write your test is more toward like, this is a good way to understand things, so we're just going to borrow this from, I guess you could probably say like fiction or novel writing or that kind of structure of writing and try and apply it to software engineering, which I think is a good first step, right? It does make test easier to consume, but it is like awkward because you're applying an analogy on top of software engineering, which is kind of like any other type of analogy. Now there's some like software engineering is like gardening or like construction or like something, and it fits well at first, and then you start to see the places where it doesn't quite meet. And I think the next step we kind of need to make is like, okay, like they have some nice things in these other disciplines of writing. How can we take that and bring it into software engineering and adjust it to like make it so that we can write tests that are easy to read and are pleasant to read, but don't necessarily come with the baggage that comes from like, say, the looseness of trying to write things with prose and paragraphs.